know that he was coming to lunch and would be with them until late afternoon, when he had to leave to visit some cousins. She still didn't quite hit it off with Sister Beatrice, the nun who was warden of St Saviours, though they had somehow weathered the storm and were beginning to know each other a little better. Sister Beatrice acknowledged that Angela had her uses, particularly in the matter of overseeing the new wing, which would provide much-needed extra space. Perhaps one day she would realise that what Angela really wanted was to help her and the children. Hearing a crash from downstairs in the kitchen, Angela glanced at her watch and realised it was just after 7. Surely it was too early to start cooking the turkey for dinner. They would not eat their special lunch before 2, and it was the custom for them to get up at about 8, have a leisurely breakfast of warm muffins and jam, or poached eggs on toasted muffins, when fresh eggs were freely available, and then start to prepare the turkey. So why was her mother up so early? Dressing quickly in trousers and an old jumper, Angela went down to investigate. Slim and lithe, she had dark ash blonde hair and eyes that someone had once said were azure. Perhaps not the perfect beauty she'd been in her 20s, at 34 she was still attractive enough to turn heads when she walked into a room. She discovered her mother in a kitchen that looked oddly disorganised. As a rule, everything was set out neatly, but pans were everywhere, including the one on the floor that had recently been dropped. "You're up early," Angela said brightly. Her mother had her back turned to her and seemed to be intent on whatever she was doing. "I'm going to help with the cooking, Mum. You don't need to start on the dinner yet." "What do you know of cooking?" Her mother turned round, staring at her in what Angela thought a strange, almost truculent manner. "I cook almost every day of the year. Why should I need your help today?" "Because Christmas is special. We always do it together. And you used to have help in the kitchen and with the cooking sometimes." "Mrs. Downs decided not to come in any more," Mrs. Hendry said. "If she hadn't, I would have sacked her. She was rude and lazy. I don't need her help. I don't need anyone's help." Angela was puzzled. Her mother seemed angry, resentful, and she couldn't think why. "Are you upset about something? Have I made you cross?" "Have I made you cross?" she says. Her mother's eyes seemed to glaze over for a moment. Then she blinked and said, "You know very well what you did, Angela. I begged you not to go away. But you had no consideration for me. Oh no, my wishes did not even enter into the equation. I am not cross, but your obvious lack of interest in my opinion hurt me." "If I hurt you, I am very sorry," Angela said. "It was simply that I couldn't bear the emptiness of my life. You have such a good life, Mum, with your friends, your entertaining, and your committees for the church. You couldn't know how bored and empty I felt with nothing worthwhile to do." She moved towards her mother and kissed her cheek. She seemed to smell very heavily of some expensive scent, and since she was wearing a very old dress covered by a pink and white spotted apron, it seemed a little odd that she'd splashed herself so liberally with French perfume. "Sit down and let me make you a lovely cup of coffee. I'll toast the muffins, and then we can have some of that lovely jam we made in the summer." "If you insist, I'll have the Victoria plum jam, and a drop of cream and brandy in my coffee." "Do we have cream?" Angela investigated the contents of the large pantry. It made her shiver, because it was as cold as any refrigerator, and kept even cream and butter really well. She found 2 glass jars of thick cream, which came from a local dairy farm, and would be delicious with puddings and mince pies. Also a jug of thinner cream, which she brought to table. "Are you sure you want brandy this early?" she joked. "We don't want to end up stuffing the turkey with the pudding instead of—" "Please credit me with some sense."